Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community. My name is Yerkin Abduraimov, and I'm going to be your host today. I am not alone today. I'm going to work with my colleague behind the scene, Gulruh Mamad Kasimova from Kyrgyzstan. She will be moderating the chat box and will be facilitating Q&A session. Welcome to our guest expert webinar. Today's our guest is Dr. Nermin Punar Özçelik from Turkey, and she's going to speak on the topic of AR-supported reading and AI ethics in language learning. Dr. Nermin Punar Özçelik completed her undergraduate studies at Mersin University in 2017 and earned her master's degree from Bursa Uludağ University in 2019. She received her PhD from Gazi University in 2024, specializing in the development of augmented reality AR materials for reading and vocabulary learning. Since 2019, she has been an English instructor at Tarsus University, where she currently serves as a PhD lecturer and the vice director of the School of Foreign Languages. Her research focuses on technology-enhanced language learning and intercultural communication. Dr. Özçelik has led and contributed to numerous research projects, participated in international professional development programs, and actively served as a community lead in the online professional English network Open Community of Practice. She has published in international journals, indexed in SSCI, ESCI, and Scopus, and has designed and delivered workshops on technology integration in education. Welcome, Dr. Nermin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Nermin. Can you hear me?
I am really happy to be here with you. And I will share my screen so we can start it. Just a few seconds. Yeah. Okay. So.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here with you. And today we will be talking about augmented reality support in reading and ethical artificial intelligence use in English language education. Actually, these are a PhD dissertation, and the artificial intelligence part is one of my recent publications. Actually, dear Mr. Yerkin just introduced me. Briefly, I can say that I am Dr. Nermin Punar Özçelik. My name is Nermin, actually. I've been working as a lecturer at the School of Foreign Languages at Tarsus University in Turkey. And I'm also working as a vice director of School of Foreign Languages. I'm the Bologna coordinator of the school, actually, of the university. And also, I'm the director of Teaching Turkish to Foreigners Center. I have served as a community lead in the COP as a content creator, and I am also a researcher in the field of technology integration into language education, intercultural communication, and culture and language education. And today we will be talking about augmented reality technology, reading skills, and the effects of augmented reality technology on reading skills. This is a part of my PhD dissertation. And also we will be talking about artificial intelligence, which is a highly hot topic nowadays. And we will be talking about the role of artificial intelligence in language education and some ethical guidelines to implement with the augmented reality. Okay, I couldn't understand the problem.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Hello, can you? Okay, thank you. I've just asked the difference between the augmented reality. Yes, you can. I would be happy. Okay, let me explain briefly. In virtual environments, everything is virtual in virtual reality, but in augmented reality, we have the real environment, but we integrate 3D virtual elements. As you can see in these pictures, the environment is real, but there are some 3D elements. So why is it important? It is important because it enhances the immersive learning environment. Augmented reality creates interactive environments which increase student engagement. So students can integrate with the elements, 3D elements, so they can retain, they can remember all the language skills more effectively. And also, it's useful for real life conversation practice. In some kind of AR applications, students learners, let's say not students, but the learners can practice practical conversations. They can get instant feedback with the help of integration with AR and AI, or artificial intelligence, actually. So they can improve their fluency and they can gain lots of confidence. And also, it enhances personalized learning experiences. In augmented reality, we can use multimodal input. We can use 3D models, we can use videos, we can use audio or text. So it can adapt to different learning styles and proficiency levels. So it helps learners to get more experience. What about, let's say, what about the reading? Okay, reading is an important skill for language learning. Reading skills help learners comprehend the text, make them easier to navigate information and instruction. Also, reading is really important for vocabulary enhancement and critical thinking. With the help of reading in English or in any other language, learners can expand their vocabulary knowledge, and also they can develop their analytical and critical thinking skills. And also, it's important for academic and professional success, of course. What is the relationship between augmented reality and reading? Let's talk about it. But before, we need to understand the comprehension levels in reading. Unfortunately, we are not aware of the comprehension levels of reading. According to Barrett, according to Barrett's taxonomy, actually, there are 5 levels of reading comprehension. In this comprehension levels, from the basic recall to appreciation and evaluation, augmented reality helps it. Let's say this one. In the basic level, let me explain the literal comprehension basically. In literal comprehension level, students can only recall or repeat something in the text, but in the appreciation level, they could understand it, they could infer something about their life, they need to apprise it. They need to comment about it. So, with the help of augmented reality technology, with interactive visual aids and increasing interactivity, and with the combination of these interactive visualization and engagement, students move beyond the literal comprehension level to appreciation level because they have the opportunity with the more character. For example, in reading, we know that students sometimes read stories. And in these stories, if we use augmented reality technology, the character is 3D and the environment is our real environment. Students never lose their connection with the real environment, but they can connect with the 3D character so they can enhance their reading capabilities. They enhance their reading, let's say, comprehension. So there are some applications. I can just suggest them to you. You can check them. There are some augmented reality enhanced reading booklets or books. We can use these kinds of books for any kind of level. In my PhD, I worked with university students. Mostly the studies are for young learners. Even for young learners or university students, it doesn't matter. It's really useful. So let's talk about now artificial intelligence. By the way, I cannot check the comments section now. If you have any questions about the augmented reality and the other parts, we can answer them at the end of the presentation.
Yes, sorry, Nermin. You can ask the questions in the chat box, dear participants. Our chat moderator, Guru, will address these questions to the presenter at the end of the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk about artificial intelligence. Actually, it's a really hot topic. Everybody just talks about artificial intelligence now. So it is a field of computer science focused on creating systems that can perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence. This technology enables machine to understand, learn, and respond intelligently to information, often mimicking aspects of human thought and communication. So, what about artificial intelligence in language learning? It's really useful for personalized learning experiences. Each student can use artificial intelligence tools, and each student will get different answer, different feedback, different things based on their own choices, based on their learning pace, based on their skills. And it's also important for feedback and progress tracking. Sometimes our students make mistakes. So, with the help of artificial intelligence, they can get feedback whenever they want. I would like to mention a kind of, let's say, application that I use in this part. My course, actually, I'm giving the course of reading and writing. Students really like to use these kinds of tools to write something. Not, let's say, we assign our students with writing task. For example, we say write a paragraph about the benefits of technology in language learning. They don't want to think about their own thoughts. Instead, they want to use these ChatGPT, for example. But in my lesson, I just do this. I ask my students to write the text, to write the paragraph in the class with me. And then I ask my students to use ChatGPT for feedback. I have lots of students. Sometimes I don't have enough time to, let's say, check their mistakes. So instead of me as a teacher, I ask my students to use ChatGPT as a feedback assistant, as a learning assistant. So they use it, and based on the ChatGPT's correction, my students compare their own first writing and ChatGPT correction to find their mistakes, to find their problems. It really enhanced their autonomy. It really enhanced their self-regulated learning. They can see their own problems, their own errors or mistakes, and they can develop it. And also, with the, let's say, new technologies in artificial intelligence, we have some conversational agents. Even with the ChatGPT, our students, learners can practice English speaking skills. They can engage in realistic conversations. So it can enhance their confidence and their fluency in daily instructions. So I would like to mention one of my recent studies, which is published in British Educational Research Journal, which is about ethical AI in language education, which is a Delphi study focusing on social and emotional aspects of learning. Based on the things that we have covered here, AI transform language learning. So we need to do something. We need to use AI in our classrooms ethically. And also, we need to also focus on the social and emotional aspects of learning because we are talking about human beings. Learning is not something about, let's say, mechanic. We're talking about people. We are talking about human beings. So we need to focus on social and emotional aspects. In my study, I tried to establish an ethical guideline for AI use, as I said before, with a focus on social and emotional aspects of learning. Uh, the aim was to create a set of expert-informed ethical guidelines to integrate AI into language education responsibly, of course. And for this reason, as a methodology, I used Delphi method. In this Delphi method, I worked with 14 international language education experts. And in this Delphi method, there may be, let's say, lots of rounds, but for my study, I only included 3 rounds. It was necessary for my study. In round 1, I had created some open-ended questions about the artificial intelligence use in language learning, focusing on social and emotional aspects. At the end of the first round, actually, at the beginning, I asked my experts to answer these open-ended questions. In the end, there were 172 items that I identified based on the answers. In the second round, I created a Likert scale validation with the items in the first round. So I asked the experts to scale, to rate the importance of these ethical issues. So at the end, there were 47 items. And in the round 3, I refined all the scale, all the aspects, all the guideline. So there were 43 items to include in this ethical guideline. So briefly, I can talk about the expert panel, which is in the first round, actually. As I said before, I had 14 English language educators from different countries. As you can see, the countries Algeria, Argentina, Azerbaijan, Ecuador, Egypt, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, Russia, Senegal, Serbia, Ukraine, and Turkey. And these experts are both novice and experienced teachers because I wanted to be sure that everyone should be aware of AI, ethical AI, and the age range was really different as because it's both included novice and experienced teachers. So the key themes in my study and in my ethical guideline that I created based on the Delphi study, we talked about AI and social interaction, emotional well-being in language learning, teacher versus AI roles in emotional support, bias and fairness in AI tools. Again, we are focusing on social and emotional aspects, and AI's role in feedback and motivation, data privacy and social relationships, cultural sensitivity and social cohesion, long-term impact on student-teacher relationships, and balancing automation with human interaction. So, what did I find? First, everybody agrees that AI should support, not replace teacher, which is the really common aspect in all experts' ideas. So, according to the experts, ethical design enhances learning while protecting learners' social and emotional well-being. In social and emotional learning, maybe you know it, I'm not sure about it, but there are some competencies: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. So, in our artificial intelligence use in classroom, we should integrate these aspects. We should be careful about these aspects also. Of course, there are some risks. These risks include bias. Still, we have problems with bias or data privacy. Sometimes we have emotional manipulation by artificial intelligence tools. One of my experts claimed toxic positivity, actually. And also, even it enhances speaking practice, it can reduce authenticity in social interactions. And in terms of guidelines, about artificial intelligence and social interactions, experts say that we need to ensure AI tools enhance, not replace human interaction, as we said before. We need to promote collaborative learning rather than isolating learning. We need to encourage peer-to-peer communication alongside the AI use, and we need to avoid over-reliance on AI, which diminishes teacher-student relationships. So we need to balance our role as a teacher and AI use for better social interaction in classroom and for emotional well-being in language learning. AI should support positive emotions. Okay, and we need to avoid some designs that increase anxiety or stress in terms of artificial intelligence use. We need to provide empathetic feedback without manipulation. Actually, let's say artificial intelligence need to provide it without manipulation. As I said before, toxic positivity, even if you have mistakes, some kind of artificial intelligence tool say, oh, you are great, you are doing a really great job, but it can manipulate it. So we need to focus on this empathetic feedback here, and we need to be sure that it respects learners' emotional states and avoid exploitative personalization. So, in terms of teacher and AI roles in emotional support, teacher, of course, should remain the primary source of emotional support. These tools doesn't include any emotion, so we need to be the primary source. And AI only should act as a supplementary tool, not a substitute. And we need to maintain teacher authority in guiding emotional and social learning. And we need to be sure that AI feedback aligns with teacher-led pedagogy. So, in terms of emotional support, we are responsible, not AI. And about bias and fairness in AI tools, we need to minimize algorithmic bias in language models. Actually, the developers, people behind these, let's say, platforms should minimize algorithmic bias in language models. Also, we need to ensure fair treatment across diverse learners. We need to avoid reinforcing stereotypes or cultural prejudice because, for example, I would like to share something here. In one of my studies, I used ChatGPT for proofreading. Actually, for the study, I use it. There were some abstracts, the published abstracts, actually. I asked ChatGPT to proofread it. In one of the abstracts, there were a word, organization, but organization in British English. You know the difference between S and Z. It was spelled in British English. ChatGPT changed it. It's not correct. It should be with organization with Z in American English. So there is a stereotyping here. It only focused on the American aspect. It was years ago, actually, in 2023. Maybe it changed now, but there are still some stereotypes and cultural prejudice in these AI platforms. Also, yes, we need to provide transparency about AI decision-making processes. And about AI's role in feedback and motivation, AI should deliver constructive, personalized feedback. It's something usual. Mostly it gives personalized feedback, but it also should be constructive. Here, it is about our prompts. When we give correct prompts, it can give constructive and personalized feedback. As teacher, we should avoid over-automated grading that reduce human nuance. And we should support learning motivation and autonomy. And we should balance encouragement with realistic performance assessment. And about data privacy and social relationships. Of course, this is one of the biggest problems, student data. We need to protect these data. We need to be sure that these AI tools not collect unnecessary data. It should be limited. And we need to ensure transparency about how learner data is used. We need to be aware of it, and we need to tell these transparency about to learners, and we need to prevent misuse of emotional or behavioral data by these kinds of tools. And about cultural sensitivity and social cohesion, artificial intelligence tools should respect cultural diversity in language learning context. Especially in some countries, there are multilingual, multicultural learners. So we need to be aware of it. And it should avoid privileging dominant languages or cultural norms, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. And it should promote inclusive practices across different backgrounds, and it should encourage intercultural understanding through AI design. And about the long-term impact on student-teacher relationship. What happens when we use these kinds of tools in the long term? We need to safeguard trust and rapport between teacher and students. Rapport is really important in classroom. The communication, the interaction between teacher and students. We need to be sure about it. And we need to prevent AI from undermining teacher authority. We need to monitor long-term effects on AI on classroom dynamics. And we need to ensure AI strengths, not weakens human bonds in education. When we do this, the long-term impact will be more positive. Yes. And about balancing, so we said here, We need to follow it. We need to enhance the student-teacher relationship in the long term. So how can we do it? With balancing. We need a balance here. We need to balance automation and human interaction. We need to maintain human oversight in AI-driven processes. We need to monitor all the content provided by these kinds of tools. We need to avoid excessive automation that reduces learner agency, which is really important. We don't want our students to use ChatGPT or the other AI tools automatically. They need to learn how to develop themselves with the help of these tools. And we need to ensure that AI complements teacher creativity and adaptability. We, as teachers, should be aware of using these kinds of tools, let's say, efficiently, because when we create some task with the help of these tools, it's not the result of our creativity. We need to create something, but we need to adapt them according to our learners, according to our classroom. And of course, we need to keep learners engaged in authentic social interactions. Even if they use these kinds of artificial intelligence tools, they need real, authentic social interactions. And in general, uh, these kinds of tools uphold fairness, accountability, and transparency. And we need to ensure student autonomy and agency are respected in classroom. And we need to promote AI literacy, which is really important among teachers and learners. Everyone should be AI literate in, let's say, in the short run, actually, not in the long run, but short run. And also, we as teachers regularly review ethical guidelines because technology really constantly evolves. So, thank you. Thank you for listening to me. So, if you have any questions, I can take them, or you can also email me about the dissertation, about the study, or whatever the topic is. You can email me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nermin. Thanks for your presentation. Guru, the floor is yours. Do we have any questions here?
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Ms. Neb. It was really interesting and useful, especially nowadays. So we do have some questions here. So let me read one by one. The first one is by Igor Salimova, if I'm not mistaken. So do you think getting feedback using AI for students is useful? If yes, why? If no, why?
Okay, getting feedback using AI. Actually, it's useful, but it depends on, let's say, which purposes are you on? For example, in my situation, I always ask my students get feedback from the ChatGPT or Gemini for their writing tasks. Or sometimes they have questions about, let's say, you enhancing their speaking skills. I ask them use ChatGPT to speak, so it will give you some feedback. So it can be motivational. You know, we live in a technology-centered era. We cannot, let's say, limit our students, let's say, saying, no, you cannot use artificial intelligence tools. Instead, we need to teach them how to use these tools effectively. So for feedback, I think it's useful. If we're talking about the feedback in classroom, we need to monitor. We need to check what ChatGPT or the other tools say, so we can understand the background. We can understand our learners, and if there is any problem with the feedback, we can cover them with our, let's say, responsibility.
Mhm. Thank you. So this question is given by, Dilnoza Sultanova. So do you think it is good for students to use AI?
Yeah, actually, I already answered it, but just briefly, I think it's good. I always say this one. I'm not sure it's the same in your country or not, but here people are always talking about this. Will artificial intelligence replace human teachers, for example, for in the future? Or there will be no workers in the future because of the artificial intelligence? I always say this one. We will need people, workers or teachers who use artificial intelligence effectively in the future. So it's really important for our learners to use these kinds of tools for their future jobs, for their future environment. We cannot deny the role of artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, we cannot deny it. It really evolves, so we need to teach our learners how to use it effectively.
Yeah, I totally agree with this point. So thank you so much. So next question is given by, again, so Nigor Salima, one of our active participants. So how do you think might AI affect human improving negatively? And I mean using AI or not have digital intelligence or not keep ethic rules can make a new generation knowledge weak.
Okay, I'm trying to comprehend the question actually. Okay. Human improving, we're talking about it. Digital intelligence, not keep ethic rules. Okay. Uh, I'm not sure it will be your answer, it will be the answer of your question, but I can say that in this technology era, gaining knowledge or obtaining the information, it's really easy. We can learn everything easily with the help of even artificial intelligence tools. Nowadays, people don't use Google, for example. They just ask the questions to artificial intelligence tools. So it's easier to get knowledge, but I think it's, let's say, I don't know how I can explain it, but it is about our brain elasticity, right? It weakens it. We don't use our brains to think, especially newer generations. Just they avoid using their brains to think, to understand something, or to find solution to problems. They just use these kinds of tools. I think it will be a biggest, let's say, the biggest part, the biggest problem of artificial intelligence tools.
Hey, thank you. So dear Ms. Nermin, so there are so many appreciation messages for you.
Here.
So the mostly people are sending that it was a really interesting presentation, and here one more question is given by so I couldn't read the name. So please provide some topics, examples for how students not automatically, but with the help of AI, and for the teachers, it will be clear. So thank you in advance.
Okay, I can just explain the example that I used in my classroom again. Maybe it's a little bit complex while explaining. In the classroom, for example, you are, let's say, doing a writing task. You ask your students to write the task in the class, and you give some prompts to your students to check their mistakes with the help of AI feedback. And then you ask your students to, let's say, compare the first writing in the class without any help, the first writing and the AI corrections, and then they find their mistakes. They only use AI tool as an assistant here, not something automatic. They don't create anything with the help of AI. They just give their own writing to the platform, and it just gives feedback. It can be an example, but if you want more examples, you can email me so I can maybe share some other things that I also use in my classroom. Now I cannot remember all the things, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Mr. Yerkin, can you please replace me?
Yeah, thank you so
Without
much. Yeah, thank you so much. We have some questions.
Mhm.
Dear participants, you can address these questions under the post. We will be uploading, sharing the post on our Facebook page, on our interest community, on the main COP. So I'm sure Dr. Nermin will be very glad to answer these questions. So as she said, you can also write an email. So if you want to ask something, so feel free to write an email. So yeah, it's already time. So as I said, dear participants, please, we are going to share the recording of our session on Facebook. Please answer your questions there, please. Ask your questions there, please. So Dr. Nermin will be very glad to answer your questions. So thank you so much, Dr. Nermin. We are very happy to have you today. Now, we will reach out to you shortly to hand out your certificate. So for now, you can stay with us. I have a short announcement for our upcoming webinar. But first of all, dear participants, let me share the link to get your certificate. You have to fill out the form within the 10 minutes after the session. Please try to be quick.
Okay. I would like to also thank to all you and all the participants, all the audience. It was a really great session for me. I've just seen a comment about my pace. It's something usual for me. I mostly speak a little bit quickly, so I'm sorry for it. And also, before the webinar, I've said I have a special event today after just this webinar, so I will just go out. That's why I'm a little bit quick, actually.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nermin. It was a wonderful and informative session. Gorgeous. Çok güzel. Teşekkür ederim.
Rica ederim. Teşekkür ederim.
And I'd like to thank the organizers also. Thank you.
You are welcome.
So, should I leave now?
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nermin. We will reach out to you shortly to hand out your certificate of appreciation. Again, thank you so much. I hope we'll see you in our community in the future.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you again for inviting me, and have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, dear participants, you can, while I am announcing, you can fill out the form to get, if you want to get the certificate from our community. Our next webinar and the last webinar in January is Alumni Connect series. Our speaker is Mavluda Zulfova from Tajikistan. She's going to speak on the topic of inclusive education practices at a secondary school in Tajikistan. The session will be on January 31st, 7 p.m. Tashkent time.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Erkincan,
that's it for today. Thank you so much. Don't forget to fill out the certificate form. So it will be available 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. So please don't share it with nobody. Don't share it with anybody, just for you.